The hungry visitors. The midnight sun cast long shadows across the Arctic Research Station Delta as Dr. Aya Nakamura finished labeling her latest batch of experimental crop samples. She tucked a strand of dark hair behind her ear, sighing at the isolation that came with being the leading food sustainability scientist at the planet's northernmost agricultural dome. "Another 16-hour day in paradise," she muttered, glancing at the clock blinking 2:37 a.m. through the reinforced windows. She could see the swirling aurora dancing above the frozen wasteland, a beautiful prison that had been her home for 2 years. The proximity alert chimed softly, interrupting her thoughts. Meteorological anomaly. Detected Sector F7 temperature surge. Plus 70 degrees, announced the AI system dispassionately. Aya frowned. "That's directly above our eastern experimental field. ARIA, show me visual. Satellite imagery unavailable due to atmospheric interference." The AI responded, protocol dictated. She should alert Security Chief Dr. Chen, but something made Aya hesitate. The prickly administrator would lock down the facility for days over what was probably just a geothermal anomaly. Besides, she needed to check on her experimental Arctic strawberry plants in that sector anyway. 20 minutes later, Aya was regretting her decision as she navigated the small terrain vehicle across the ice sheet. The wind had picked up considerably, howling against her helmet as she approached the coordinates. "Sweet Buddha," she whispered as her headlights illuminated a deep trench carved into the permafrost. At its end lay what could only be described as a vessel, half buried in snow. Its pearlescent surface reflected impossible colors that seemed to shift and move beneath an otherwise smooth shell. Scientific curiosity overrode caution as Aya approached. The vessel, approximately 8 meters long, had cracked open along one side, revealing a dimly lit interior. Peering inside, she gasped as two luminous eyes blinked back at her. Aya stumbled backward, nearly falling. "Hello," she managed, her voice cracking. "I won't harm you." From the opening emerged 2 figures, unmistakably feminine in form, but clearly not human. Their skin was a soft purple, color almost translucent with delicate patterns that seemed to pulse beneath the surface. Their faces, framed by silvery hair, featured high cheekbones, large eyes with vertical pupils and small ridges where human eyebrows would be. One clutched her abdomen, making a soft melodic sound that somehow conveyed distress. The other supported her companion while gesturing urgently at their ship, then toward the sky. "You're hurt," Aya said slowly, recognizing the universal language of pain. "Do you need help?" The standing alien made a series of musical sounds that Aya couldn't understand, but the intent seemed clear enough when she mimed eating, then pointed to her companion's midsection. "You're hungry," Aya realized. "Starving, maybe." Suddenly everything clicked. These beings had crashed far from home and were in desperate need of sustenance. Every protocol mandated immediate reporting of unidentified visitors, but Aya's compassion overwhelmed her training. "I'm a food scientist," she said, pointing. To herself then, mimicking eating, "I can help." Making a swift decision, Aya guided them to her vehicle. The injured alien moved weakly, but her companion helped her along. As Aya drove back toward the station using a maintenance route to avoid security cameras, she made a silent promise to these strange visitors. "There's an abandoned greenhouse module we never restored after the last storm," she explained, knowing they couldn't understand. "No one goes there anymore. You'll be safe until we figure this out." As the aliens settled into the dusty greenhouse, Aya hurried to gather supplies. Her mind raced with questions, but one certainty remained. She had just committed to harboring extraterrestrial beings, and there would be no going back. Cultural exchange. The abandoned greenhouse dome hummed with the quiet sound of the emergency generator Aya had activated. 5 days had passed since she discovered the stranded aliens, and a remarkable routine had developed between them. "Try this, she said, offering a spoonful of her latest creation to the alien she now knew as Kira. The name had come during their developing communication, a delicate balance of gestures, drawings, and increasingly shared vocabulary. Kira's large violet eyes widened as she tasted the pureed mixture of modified proteins and Arctic berries. "Sweet," she said, the word still sounding musical in her accented voice. "Like home fruits." Her companion Thalia sat nearby, carefully cataloging human food samples in a device from their ship. The more reserved of the pair she had recovered quickly once Aya introduced them to compatible nutrients. "Your biochemistry is remarkably adaptable," Aya noted, documenting their reactions for her private research. "Almost. Like your bodies can reconfigure to process our food with minimal modification." Kira nodded, touching her throat. "We are travelers made to adapt many worlds, many foods." Her English improved hourly, showing an extraordinary aptitude for language. Aya's communicator chirped, interrupting their session. "Dr. Nakamura, report to Lab C immediately." Dr. Chen's voice crackled through the speaker. "Unauthorized access to food stores has been detected." Aya's heart raced. "Acknowledged. I'll be right there," she replied, keeping her voice steady. "Just finishing some cultivation notes." Kira touched her arm gently. "Danger?" she asked, her vertical pupils dilating with concern. "Just my supervisor." Aya explained, gathering her samples. "Stay here. Rest. I'll return tonight." In Lab C, Dr. Chen stood with arms crossed, his thin face pinched with suspicion. "Interesting consumption patterns you've developed lately, Dr. Nakamura," he said without preamble. "Your requisitions have doubled, yet your logged experiments remain unchanged." Aya kept her expression neutral. "I've been testing digestive efficiency models," she improvised. "Many iterations fail before documenting." "Indeed." Dr. Chen's eyes narrowed. "And the unauthorized access to the northern greenhouse module. Environmental baselines for my Arctic strawberry variants." Aya countered. "The abandoned module provides ideal control conditions." Chen studied her for a long moment. "The security drones detected unusual heat signatures there last night. Thermal regulators for the seedlings." Aya felt sweat beading at her temples. "Nothing exciting, I promise." Later that evening, Aya slipped back to the greenhouse, her backpack heavy with supplies. "We need to be more careful," she warned as she entered. "Security is getting suspicious." She found the aliens engaged in what appeared to be a ritual. Both knelt before a small glowing crystal, sharing a cup of water. Kira looked up. "Join, please. Sacred gratitude for nourishment." Hesitantly, Aya knelt beside them. Thalia offered her the cup. "Water circle," she explained, "connects life-givers together." As Aya sipped the water, which tasted faintly of starlight and honey, Kira placed her four-fingered hand atop Aya's. "In our world," she said, her voice soft, "one who gives food when starving gives twice life and hope. You give both." Something passed between them in that moment, a connection that transcended their biological differences. Aya felt her cheeks warm as Kira's luminous eyes held hers. "I'm just doing what's right." "More than right," Kira replied. "Sacred." Over the following weeks, their cultural exchange deepened. Aya taught them Earth's languages and customs, while the sisters shared knowledge of their world Lumina, a planet orbiting twin stars where water existed as a crystalline suspension rather than liquid. "Your people, how do they connect?" Kira asked one evening. As they shared a meal, her curiosity about human relationships growing. "Love, bonding, family. We form partnerships," Aya explained. "Based on mutual attraction, compatibility, shared goals. Some for reproduction, some for companionship." Kira's head tilted. "And you, no partner?" Aya smiled sadly. "My work has always come first. Science doesn't leave much room for relationships." "Science is cold," Kira observed, reaching across to touch Aya's hand. "Hearts need warmth." The simple touch sent an unexpected shiver through Aya's body. Something was developing between them, something neither had anticipated. Outside, a security drone hovered, briefly near the greenhouse window before continuing its patrol. Aya didn't notice it transmitting data back to Dr. Chen's private terminal, where suspicions were rapidly becoming certainties. Departure promises. The signal came in the dead of night, a soft harmonic pulse from the sisters' repaired communication device that made the air vibrate with possibility. After 3 weeks of working together, adapting Earth technology to alien specifications, they had succeeded. "It works?" Aya breathed, watching confirmation patterns scroll across the small holographic display. Your people heard you. Thalia's eyes shimmered with iridescent droplets, their version of tears. Home vessel responds, she confirmed. 2 rotations until arrival. 2 days. The reality of their impending departure settled over Aya like Arctic frost. She had known this moment would come, yet facing it brought an unexpected hollowness. That's wonderful news, she managed, her voice betraying none of her conflicted emotions. You'll be going home. Kira studied Aya's face with those perceptive violet eyes that seemed to see beneath human expressions. Sadness in your voice, Aya. I'll miss our conversations, Aya admitted, arranging her research notes to avoid meeting that penetrating gaze, and I still have so many questions about your world. That evening they celebrated in subdued fashion. Aya smuggled in a bottle of sake saved for special occasions, a tradition, on Earth, she explained, pouring small measures into makeshift cups. When friends part, they share a drink to honor their time together. The sisters accepted with ceremonial solemnity. Kira took a cautious sip, her eyes widening at the burn. Strong. She gasped, but took another sip. But good like your friendship. To new understanding across the stars, Aya toasted, her voice rough with emotion as the night deepened. Kira's glowing crystal was set between them, its warmth more intense than before. In its light, the alien looked ethereal, her purple skin luminescent, her eyes holding mysteries of distant worlds. Aya, Kira said finally. Important tradition we must share, nourishment bond. Thalia nodded, continuing her sister's thought. One who provides life-sustaining food when starving creates unbreakable connection in our culture. I'm honored. Aya smiled, touched by the sentiment though not fully comprehending its significance. But I just did what anyone would do. No, Kira said firmly. Not anyone. You risked everything for strangers not of your world. She removed a delicate chain from around her neck, on which hung a small crystal pendant. This is binding promise, she said, placing it in Aya's palm. We will return. Return, Aya, repeated confused. When time is right, Thalia explained. Bond must be completed, sacred tradition. Before Aya could ask further questions, Kira closed her fingers around the pendant. The crystal pulsed with inner light, warm against her skin. Keep safe, she instructed. When we return, you will understand. The kiss that followed took Aya completely by surprise. Kira's lips against hers, cool and soft, tasting faintly of something like honey and starlight. It was brief yet profound, carrying meanings. Beyond words I don't understand, she admitted when Kira pulled away. You will. Kira promised, her eyes holding Aya's. Time will pass, but we will come for you, Aya Nakamura. The alert from Aya's security badge came at dawn. Unidentified aircraft approaching. Station perimeter, the automated warning announced. All personnel report to emergency stations. Dr. Chen's voice followed immediately. Dr. Nakamura, report to main lab immediately. Drone footage from greenhouse sector under review. Their goodbye was rushed, forced by circumstance. The sisters gathered their few belongings while Aya created a diversion, a deliberate power fluctuation in the main laboratory systems that would require attention. Meet me at your crash site, she instructed. I'll make sure security focuses elsewhere. An hour later, at the original crash location now covered by fresh snow, they waited. The ship that appeared materialized from the swirling aurora itself, graceful and silent, hovering just above the ground. Remember, promise? Kira said, pressing her forehead to Aya's in a final gesture. We return. Thalia embraced her as well, slipping a small device into Aya's pocket. To remember us, she said, until we meet again. Then they were gone, ascending into their ship, with fluid grace. The vessel rose silently, its surface reflecting the dancing aurora before disappearing with a subtle flash. Aya stood alone in the Arctic wasteland. The pendant warm against her chest, the device glowing softly in her pocket. She already missed them with an ache that seemed to reach into her soul. Until we meet again, she whispered to the empty sky. The proximity alert on her communicator blared insistently. Dr. Chen's security team was approaching her location. In moments, she would face questions she couldn't answer, accusations she couldn't deny. Aya touched the pendant, drawing strength from its warmth. Whatever consequences awaited, she would face them knowing that somewhere among the stars, two beings carried the memory of her kindness, and someday they would return. 15 years later. 15 years transformed Dr. Aya Nakamura from disgraced research scientist to celebrated director of the Global Food Sustainability Initiative. The alien encounter scandal had nearly destroyed her career until her experimental food preservation techniques, secretly inspired by Luminian methods, revolutionized Earth's agricultural systems. Aya stood at her penthouse window overlooking Tokyo's glittering skyline, fingering the crystal pendant that never left her neck. Despite her professional success, a profound loneliness had become her constant companion. Another successful conference, Dr. Nakamura, her assistant said from the doorway. The UN representatives were impressed with the desert reclamation projections. Thank you, Alex? She replied distantly. That will be all for tonight. Alone again, Aya removed the small device Thalia had given her from its hidden compartment in her desk. After 15 years, it remained dormant, a relic of a memory that sometimes felt like a dream. The pendant against her chest suddenly pulsed with unexpected warmth. The device activated simultaneously, projecting a shimmering holographic star map into her living room. A familiar voice filled the space. Aya Nakamura. Kira's musical tones washed over her. We approach Earth orbit, promise fulfilled, coordinates attached if bond still desired. Aya's heart raced. They had returned just as promised. The coordinates pointed to a remote location in the Hokkaido wilderness tomorrow. She would face the most important decision of her life. Remain on the world she had helped transform or embrace an entirely new existence among the stars. Cosmic union. Snow crunched beneath Aya's boots as she approached the coordinates' dawn, painted the Hokkaido forest in soft pinks and golds. The pendant pulsed with increasing warmth with each step. The ship appeared silently, materializing between ancient pines. Its elegant design far more advanced than the damaged vessel she remembered. From the Arctic, two figures emerged, silhouettes against the ship's soft glow. Kira and Thalia moved with regal bearing. Now their purple skin adorned with intricate patterns that shimmered beneath the surface. Their silvery hair embedded with living crystals caught the morning light. Aya Nakamura. Kira called, her voice carrying perfectly through the cold air. We have returned as promised. Aya approached slowly, hardly daring to believe 15 years. She said, voice thick with emotion. I never knew if you'd remember. Time passes differently for our people. Kira explained, reaching for her hand. The touch was exactly as Aya remembered. Cool, smooth skin against her weathered palm. What feels like decades to you has been a preparation time. For us. Preparation, Aya asked, for completion of the nourishment bond. Thalia said, our most sacred tradition. Kira touched the pendant at Aya's throat, which now glowed brightly. You kept it safe as I knew you would. What exactly is this bond? Aya asked the question that had haunted her for 15 years. Those who provide life-sustaining nourishment become eternally connected, Kira explained. In our culture, this creates our deepest partnership, one of mutual care and love. You've come to take me with you, Aya realized. We offer a choice, Thalia clarified. We would never force the bond. Inside the vessel, Aya found herself in surroundings that defied her understanding of technology. The sisters showed her holographic projections of Luminia, floating cities, vast oceans of liquid crystal and agricultural systems that would revolutionize food production across galaxies. Your knowledge would honor our people, Kira said, and the connection we began in that greenhouse could grow into something profound. Aya thought of Earth, her accomplishments, her loneliness. The pendant warmed against her skin. My work here has helped millions, she said thoughtfully. But there are others who can continue it. Reaching out, she took Kira's hand-feeling the same electric connection that had begun 15 years ago in an abandoned Arctic greenhouse. "I've spent my life nourishing others," Aya said softly. "Perhaps it's time to discover what it means to be truly nourished in return." The ship rose silently above Earth. Aya watched her home planet grow smaller, a beautiful blue marble against the vastness of space. Kira's arm encircled her waist, their bodies fitting together as though designed for each other. "Welcome home, Aya." "Nakamura," Kira whispered. "The stars have been waiting for you." The pendant glowed between them, sealing a bond that had begun with a simple act of kindness and would now span across galaxies, a cosmic union born from the universal language of nourishment and care.